Hello everyone. Quick announcement before we get into the reading. I just wanted to let everyone know that I have started two things. One is my Patreon site where I will be uploading all of the extended portions of the videos, the in-depth look of the videos and readings, sometimes when I do the clarifying cards, and I put a bit of extra material. All of that is now going to be over on Patreon, as well as I've finally been able to start my tarot and oracle deck unboxing and review series. And I'm going to be starting to unbox various tarot decks, review them in depth with you, and each month these decks will be given away in a monthly member giveaway. So in order to be eligible for the giveaway, you just have to join my Patreon site, and the cost of being a patron over there, I just ask for $1 a month, and that's it. There's one tier, one amount to join, and it's just a way, just simply a way for me to be able to facilitate these reviews and to be able to give out these beautiful decks. The more people join, the more patrons I have, the more decks I will review each month, and the more decks I will give away. So, for those of you who want to see the unboxing, go straight to the link. I'll include the link here and in the description box, and you'll find out more information about the series and my Patreon site there, or you can go directly to my Patreon site and see the extended unboxing and review video there. All right, guys, thank you so much, and without further ado, straight to the reading. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing the monthly reading for the sign of Aquarius. This is going to be the August love reading, and we're going to get right into it and pull out your romance angel oracle cards for this month. Thank you so much to all my regulars and my subscribers for coming back. My lovely Aquariuses, you know how much I love reading for you guys. If you're a regular here and you've watched my other Aquarius videos, you guys know how much I feel about you. I love your readings. You guys have had, my collective of Aquarius have had quite a journey over the last few months, I want to say. You know, a real journey of self-realization. A lot of you have gotten out of very difficult relationships that have kept you kind of down. And then some of you have really learned how to express yourself creatively. Some of you have gone into really exciting new stages of your life where you've kind of come into your own. So it's been quite interesting to watch the journey. I do keep a log of my readings, and so, you know, it's nice to see. Sometimes you can see a progression for your collective, right? You can see how the readings begin to change, and, you know, how the collective in general begins to, you know, evolve and go through life, right? So in any case, Aquarius, today we're going to check it out and see what it's all hitting for this August for you in love. First card out is forgiving and learning. Yeah, that's been a lot of that for you these last couple of months. And attraction, and there's been a lot of that as well. Certainly. Bottom of the deck, we have unrequited love. So somebody's got unrequited love. Somebody's feeling butthurt. Somebody's upset, right? But we won't really know until we get straight into your reading. So, as always, we're going to pull out the traditional Rider-Waite Smith deck. Show me what's going on for our lovely Aquarius this August in love. We want to see affirmations, reaffirmations, warning signs. What's the journey that they're going to be taking this month in love? I want a clear message for my collective. Those who are subscribed and those who are new to my channel who aren't subscribed. Anyone who's coming to watch one of my videos. Give me a clear message for those individuals so we can help them on their way in love. Yeah, some of you want to find love. Some of you want to keep love. Some of you are wanting to walk away. So let's see what it's all about. All right. We have 3 of Cups out the gate. All right, so being with like-minded people. Too far out. Okay, being with like-minded individuals, you know, sociable, happy, celebrating, star energy. There you go. That's you showing up in your reading, Aquarius energy right there. And Ace of Cups. So beautiful top row right away for you. A lot of bonding, new love, certainly new love. Forgiving and learning can be certainly 3 of Cups if you are getting back together with a social group that maybe you've fallen out of. 7 of Pentacles is coming out. You also have the Magician at the center of your reading. So that's you at the very center of your reading. Just like manifesting, right, Aquarius? Okay, we have 10 of Pentacles. We have it in reverse. So that's interesting. Very, very rarely will I get a reverse card in my readings. We have one today. I will read a reverse card. 4 of Wands. And then we have 6 of Wands. So victory coming in. 4 of Wands is certainly a commitment, a bonding, a stabilization of a relationship. King of Wands ending up the reading. Interesting. There's a block somewhere here, though. There's a blockage. 10 of Pentacles. We'll get to that. At the bottom of the reading, we have 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups has been dominating these readings this month, you know. It's been all over the place. 7, 7, 7s. 17 is your number, major arcana. We have here 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups. It's been everywhere. And 7th is the number for dreams and aspirations, right? And so when we see a predominance of 7s, you know, we're talking about that collectively we're all kind of reevaluating our dreams and our goals. We're kind of reevaluating what we want for our lives, right? Some of us are taking stock of what we've achieved and perhaps realigning ourselves, right? Some of us are delusioned. You know, we feel very, not delusioned, I'm sorry. I want to say disillusioned, okay? Not delusional, but disillusioned. A lot of us feel disillusioned. We feel like, wow, you know, we have these things that we've worked for, and now it's like it doesn't give me the feeling that I thought it would. You know, the illusion I had is gone. You know, that's what we mean when we say disillusion. It's like that feeling of, wow, you know, waking up from a dream. Some of you perhaps are delusional, right? In terms of wishing for things that just you can't have, you know. It's like when, you know, when you're like somebody who's, you know, suddenly wants to be famous, you know, and they've never sung, they've never, you know, taken classes, they're, you know, they want to be a famous, you know what I mean? These kind of dreams that some people have that are delusional dreams. There's no way this could be manifested for so many reasons, right? And so all of that is in when we talk about 7, right? When we talk about the number 7, and certainly with 7 of Cups being at the bottom of the deck. So let's get right into it, Aquarius. We have 3 of Cups coming out. So that's right now, yeah, forgiving and learning. For some of you, you are getting back together with friends that you've fallen out with this month. You're coming back together with old friendships that maybe you haven't spoken in a while, right? Or maybe something happened a few years ago and you just haven't had a chance to have that conversation. The feelings were bad, whatever the case may be. But for some of you, this is the month where you guys get back together with these friends. And you make up, you forgive, you forgive and you learn and you move forward. You know, some of you, I think this 7 energy is behind all of this in the sense that a lot of you are realizing what's really important in life. And so a lot of people collectively these days are waking up to wanting stronger connections with people around them. And, you know, this surge in people, you know, seeking spiritual guidance, seeking, you know what I mean? That kind of thing that's happening across the board. A lot of people want to say it's because we are coming into the age of Aquarius. We're coming into your age, Aquarius. And where, you know, we as a society, as a human race, are slowly shifting towards a more enlightened period. And so I just say this because, yes, Aquarius, this month you are going through that and you're making up with a lot of old friends and coming together. And it is an incredible self-esteem booster. Some of you then are also very much in your Aquarius energy, which is to say that you are really going inside to look at who you desire to be. What is it that you really want to do with your life? What is it that you want to be with your life? You know, who do you want to be? That's what the star is all about. You know, it's all about looking inside and, you know, it's the emotions, right? She pours the emotions. So it's like she works with her feelings, her true feelings, and her groundedness, because she's grounded, right, as well. So it's like, you know, it implies a sense of not being delusional, being grounded in who you are and being grounded in your expectations, but also taking the time to really dive deep into your feelings and really search who you are. And through that, you find out who it is you really want to be in this life. What is it that you really want to do with your life? This is how we formulate our dreams, right? This is how we formulate our desires. This is how we decide, I want to grow up and be a singer, right? That comes from someplace inside where your feelings, you know, you're grounded, right? Because you're grounded in the sense that you can sing, you have a talent, you realize, you know what I mean? It's not that you can't, you don't have the talent, you're being delusional, you're grounded. So you know you have a talent, that confidence is there. And then you also search your feelings and you realize that doing that is what makes you feel best. And so this is how people, you know, you interview people and they say, well, what did you want to be when you were a child? And you say, I always wanted to be a singer. Something just spoke to me inside. And so this is somebody who is kind of like, for whatever reason, this is my example, right? For whatever reason, they have fully undergone their star phase, right? Every card in the tarot is a phase, is a lesson, is a path. They have already fully undergone something like that at a very young age, and they knew what they wanted to be. Many of us take a lifetime to figure that out. And so when the star comes up, it means that we're very much in that place. And it could be that we are 20, we are 40, we are 60. It doesn't matter how old we are. But we're at a stage where we're very much realizing and being honest with ourselves and really thinking about who it is and we want to be and what we want for our lives, or for the rest of our lives here forward. And it's a place of empowerment, certainly, and it's a place of honesty, because you can't get to star energy unless you're very honest with yourself. And after all of this kind of energy shifting in a way where you're kind of, because this, when you do this kind of shadow work, we call it, this internal kind of work, it shifts your energy and it brings it attracts. It's the law of attraction, right? And what you attract is love, Aquarius, right? Because you're going through a period of self-love. We have attraction here in the romance angel cards coming out, right? Attraction came out. And it's the law of attraction, because what we understand is that, you know, through you showing love for yourself by doing these things, showing love for yourself by going back and forgiving friends and learning and understanding and maybe apologizing, right, as well, and making amends, that all shows a level of self-love, and it shows a level of love for others. And when you're in this kind of phase and then you're doing your star work, it brings in love. So for some of you who are single, you are by because of the work that, you know, because of this phase that you're in, for those of you who are resonating with that, you're bringing in a really wonderful love. You're bringing in an opportunity for love. Certainly. And some of you, Aquarius, are probably attracting a lot of love. You see the Ace of Cups is overflowing. So that doesn't only necessarily always mean just that one major love. It can be as well for a lot of you, Aquarius, that you're just attracting people. You know, people are attracted to you. So it's like a gushing over of kind of attention, right? Attraction, desire. These are all very good things. And in amongst that, for those of you who are single, if you are looking for that one, that is always certainly an option there, because the conduit is open, as it were, right? You know, the channel is open. Love is flooding in. It's at that point that you then exercise other aspects of yourself to decide or to discern which energy coming in is the one for you. Right? Because not every energy is the right one for you, but at least the conduit is open. And this is what we talk about with Ace of Cups. Then we come to our first 7. And remember, the monthly reading is kind of a progression of how you will develop throughout the month. And it is certainly tied in with the timing as well, right? So you get to a point as well this month where you really take a moment to take stock of all of your financial achievements, right? Your abundance. Again, here we have another 7. And so again, it's like looking at the fruit of your labor and, reviewing it in a way, right? Just, I don't want to say reanalyzing, but just kind of like, just looking over everything that you've achieved in a way, and just like trying to decide, is this what is this what you wanted, right? Is this what you really desired? Have you gotten your dreams, right? Now that you have achieved this, is it the feeling that you thought it would be? Is it enough? Do you want more? This is just a kind of, just a reevaluating. You're just like reevaluating. That's the word I was looking for. Your achievements. Because what happens is when we have a change, an emotional change, which is what you're kind of going through right now, certainly if you're in a phase of forgiving and learning, and you're already kind of, you're realigning your goals and your desires, certainly with that awakened Aquarian star energy. So, of course, the natural next step is to kind of look and say, hang on, so, like you start to look in all areas of your life, right? And finances and wealth and material possessions, those type of things that maybe some of you have either worked towards very hard, or some of you may have not worked towards it hard enough, right? So there's no judgment here. We're not making a judgment about, if you've accomplished enough. It's just, this is very personal to each and every one of you out there. It's just the exercise of reevaluating. So all, for you Aquarians, it's going to be very different across the board. What you see is going to be very different. But the action is the reevaluation of deciding where you're at and if this is now good enough for you. Is this type of lifestyle good enough for you now? Perhaps you don't want to live a certain, right? Perhaps you are... for some of you, an example could be that keeping up a certain material status or standard may be keeping you from other areas in your life, right? And you may be reevaluating and saying, hang on a second, maybe this status that I have or this kind of comfort level that I have is not as important to me anymore as maybe this area of my life that I'd like to devote more time to, right? Or it could be vice versa. It could be like, look, I've been devoting all of my time to this area of my life and I've been struggling, and I'm struggling and I never have enough money to really do the things I want. And it's time for me now to really, to work more on my finances, to work more on my abundance. It's not always the right thing to shy away from the material plane. The material world is, it's part of us. And there's nothing altruistic or any more spiritual by denying it or by trying to say that, a life without it is somehow a more pure, life, is somehow a more auspicious life. It isn't, right? It really isn't. I mean, the Buddha learned that. Right, that's what we learn in Buddhism. When the Buddha sat and deprived himself for so many years, he realized that wasn't the way. In fact, that was not the way to reach enlightenment, to reach spirituality, and that's how the Buddhists have come to that walking the middle path. Right, we talk about walking the middle path, which is like an archetype that is through a lot of theologies. This idea of not being in any extreme, and so the same comes with money. For some of you, you have just been you've been struggling for way too long for whatever reason. And so now it's time to reevaluate that as well. And I kind of spent a little longer time on this because, I think there's a big misinterpretation with a lot of the Pentacle cards. This sense that somehow anything to do with the Pentacles or to do with wealth is somehow distant or somehow keeps you from your... kind of spiritual evolution, and that's just not the case. Interestingly enough, this lesson or this exercise comes right in before this Magician card, which is important because in order to be a true magician, you need to have all 4 suits. You see as the pentacles there as well. And so, you know, and the magician is not the master. You know, we don't call it the master. So he doesn't always get it right. And this is something as well that, you know, I wanted to start to, you know, put out there when we pulled the magician card, and to add that into the interpretation, because I think a lot of times it's left out, and the magician, even I have not misinterpreted, but I haven't talked enough about how the magician is still always a student, right? The magician is still always a student. So when we pull this card, let's not make the assumption that you are now, you know, that you have all the tools you need, and so that now you can just manifest anything and it will be easy and it will always work, because that's really not the case at all. In fact, what the magician understands is that many times he has to go back into the drawing board, into the drawing room, or back to the drawing board. He has to go back to his, you know, his concoction or his recipe. He has to put maybe a bit more fire into it, maybe less water, a bit more earth, a bit, you know, when we talk about alchemy, right? I mean, we don't get it all right. These are really kind of very, you know what I mean? So that is the nature of magic and being the magician. It's trying different things until they work, you know. The thing is that he has everything he needs. You know, that's the main point. The point is you have everything you need. It's just not the point is not that you'll always succeed right away. But that you have everything you need to succeed, and you have everything you need to learn from failure as well, so that you can always continue to get better. Okay? And so that's why the magician is always a student, but in the same sense, he continues to be a master, or work towards a mastery, be able to do things that many others can't do. Do you understand what I mean? And so a lot of that, being able to manifest that, is learning that lesson. You learn that lesson by understanding some of the, you know, feelings and thoughts and, you know, whatever has come out of this exercise, right? When you've done this kind of looking back over your life, this reevaluation. And I tell you, for some of you, I'm going to tell you now, you know, like when I do private readings, I do give people like very real practical exercises to do. And one of them I would say is journaling, you know, is to write. Is to write down, you know, sometimes when you're going through a period of reevaluation and things can get quite nervy and hectic, sometimes messages can come in very quickly, and we can, you know, it's very hard to discern what is kind of, you know, what is something that you should be paying attention to and what is not. And sometimes to get our feelings straight, we can do that by writing things out. We can do that by writing out our desires or our hopes and dreams at this stage. One of them, certainly when you have 7 Pentacles, you could be writing out, you know, what are the, you know, material things I've accomplished. And you can write a list of them, right? And then you write next to each, you take a moment and you write next to each one, you think about it and you write down how it makes you feel to have that thing in your life. What does it make you feel like? How does it make you feel? You know? And then, you know, you can begin to sort of like put, you know what I mean? You step away from yourself and look at things more objectively, and you can begin to have a more honest conversation with yourself about feelings that you have, why you have certain desires and goals. And you can start to see where, you know, maybe some goals aren't your own. Maybe they're goals that people have put on you, or goals you've adopted. You know, so through doing this kind of writing down your associated feelings with certain things in your life and certain accomplishments can really help that. I say that because after this magician, which is you very much right now feeling like you're having to juggle a lot of things, you're having to, this is also why magician energy comes in, when you're having to, you feel like you're having to come up with a lot of solutions right now. Okay, you're really digging deep into all of your skills, so you feel like you're having to be a magician right now to pull everything off. It could be that some of you are having a lot of pressure at work. It could be that some of you are having a lot of pressure personally as well with this forgiving and learning, and this, you know, you patching it up with your friends. Some of you may be feeling like you're being pulled, you know, from a lot of different directions by those around you. Because after magician, you get this reversal card. And like I said, I very rarely have reversal cards. But 10 of Pentacles, normally right side up, it would indicate that you are now coming to an end of one cycle that has been quite prosperous and happy for you, but you're kind of done with it now and you're ready to start something new. But for it to come in reverse, it seems to be like there is a blockage there. And so for some of you Aquarius, it's like everything is moving along nicely. Everything seems to be falling into place, and then you're coming up against a wall, and it's like you don't, you have everything you need to kind of just tie an end on this one stage of your life and kind of move forward. I want to say an example would be that, like, some of you may have been planning to move for quite some time. You've done everything you needed to do. You've got a new job. You've got a new place. You're moving to a new city, and then all of a sudden, there's all these things that happen that just stop the whole thing. It's like, you can't get the moving truck, right? Suddenly the new job won't start for 2 more weeks. It's like suddenly the apartment is not ready for another few days. It's like you don't understand why this is happening, right? For some of you, it could be like you're having these great conversations with people about starting something new, and you're all ready to kind of like quit your job and start this new project, and then all of a sudden nobody's talking to you, or all of a sudden it's like it was all sure, but all of a sudden now it's like there's just no communication, or there's no idea of what's happening next, or it just seems to be some kind of blockage, right? And you're all ready to go. And so I think that for some of you, I don't know why that would be happening. It could be that you just need to exercise patience, right? This is something that we will get into in the deeper reading over on Patreon, which is the extended portion of this monthly reading. But yes, for some of you, there will be a blockage. It'll be temporary. It's not a permanent blockage. It's temporary, but it's going to cause you some anxiety later on in the month. All right, and that's for those of you who are right in the middle of moving towards a certain goal. Like some of you may be moving, you may be starting a new job, you may be starting a new project, something like that, right? And it's kind of being blocked, right? Now, part of that blockage could be to invite this new love in as well, because the Ace of Cups is there, and it's wanting to come in, and it could be that whatever this change or move, whatever this change shift in your life is, it's like it's been halted to give you time to meet this person or to have this encounter, because it's almost like a timing thing. I feel like this is very much a timing thing, because were this to happen now, it's like you wouldn't be at the right place at the right time to meet this individual. We do have unrequited love there, so it seems to indicate to me a feeling of like there's someone out there or some connection out there that is like really needs to be made, but it's like it needs a lot of work for all of the forces to be right. You know what I mean? All of the circumstances to be right for it to happen. Otherwise, it just won't happen. Okay, and then you have this, and when you get over this kind of like little hump, it's interesting. You'll have a 4 of Wands moment. So for some of you, it's very much like, oh wow, you've either met the right person, right? And you're like, oh wow, this is the person I'm going to now start this new stage with. Or for some of you who are already involved with somebody, you take that leap of commitment. You take that next step of commitment. All right. So for some of you, this can certainly resonate for those of you who are actually already involved with somebody long term, and perhaps you were this reversal 10. It was like you guys were about to make a certain kind of shift or a change, certain kind of move, and it's like the universe or the energies, the spirits around you, those who are looking out for you, I want to say, whatever you believe in, right? Like they put a stop to it because it's like it just needed to be stopped to avert like a disaster, right? And so it gets paused, and then when you come out of it, it's like you guys are in this really great stable position. You know what I'm saying? It's like this to me seems like a divine intervention moment of a pause, right? A pause. Just hang on 1 second. All right, now you guys can go. You know what I mean? And the outcome is this beautiful Four of Wands, the 1111, which is soulmate energy. And you guys have this wonderful victory. Some of you have a really beautiful victory. You move on. You get, you get to where you needed to go. It feels like a victory, certainly after that reverse 10 of Wands where you just felt for a second like everything was going to fall apart. And so you come out on top and you have like a renewed sense of confidence. And it's good. It's quite interesting, but certainly this is for some of you who this resonates with, Aquarius. This is certainly going to be a very kind of real thing this month, and I'd be interesting for you to check back. Let me know how you get on this month and see if I'd like to see how many of you have had that 10 of Wands in reverse moment, and how you got through it. King of Wands is going to finish off the reading. All right, and so this is somebody, I believe, coming into your life towards the end of the month who's just going to be a help, a mentor. This could be a family member or a friend. This could be somebody new that you've met. But this is certainly a grown, a grown, established individual. Somebody who's very fiery, somebody who has a lot of integrity. This person has a really good track record, in their field, right? And they're very supportive. So this could be somebody who's very supportive of you, Aquarius. So for those Aquarius out there who may be like artists, maybe part of this move may have had something to do with your career, right? And so like what I'm saying, like with the cup, like for those of you who are in a relationship or single, if this 10 of Pentacles in reverse had something to do with your career, right? And you came out of it, right? And you and your mate, did it, moved, did what you had to do, got the next job, what have you. It's like this King of Wands is like your big supporter now, right? They're like somebody who's, for those of you who are like artists, you may have changed the job and this person is now like really like your number one fan, but they can open doors for you. You know what I'm saying? They can help you with your career. They can open doors for you. They're very supportive. And so that's somebody, I think, that for those of you who definitely did a career shift or a shift in whatever your art or profession is, where you make your money and where your passion is, towards the end of the month, you're going to have this individual who comes in who will be a great helper to you, a great benefactor. For those of you who have kind of moved as a couple into this new life, it's like you guys may have moved towns. Like I said, this person will be really supportive of both of you. All right, so this is really quite a nice reading, Aquarius. I hope this does resonate with someone out there. This is certainly quite an interesting, specific reading for this month, right? But don't worry, when this moment happens, you will get over it. It's just a pause, and you just wait. There's nothing to do. Don't push it or anything. Just wait, and then a pause will pass. For those of you who want to go deeper into the reading, you can follow me over on Patreon, where I will then be pulling also the 9 Thoth cards, and I will also be pulling out the Sacred Rebel Oracle deck and your 2 Oracle cards for the month. But for now, if this is enough for you for this month, for August, Aquarius, I'm just going to say thank you so much. I hope you do like and subscribe. I hope you comment and tell me if you're going through something like this. Share it with the collective. Do check out my unboxing video. And do remember that going to Patreon means that you are in the running to win the Dreams of Gaia tarot deck. That's this tarot deck here that I'm giving away on August 15th, which is the full moon of August. And so the more people who join me over on Patreon, the better. And the more tarot decks I will be unboxing and giving away. All right, folks. I'm just going to say thank you so much, Aquarius. You know how much I love you. You have a wonderful month, and I will see you mid-month for the mid-month love check-in. Bye-bye.